Hi everyone! So yesterday was kind of a big day. I publicly announced that I was offered and I accepted a position at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. I am like still in shock, but I was accepted into their nurse residency program. I'll be in the radiology, PACU, and OR for the next year at least. I recorded the moments, but I didn't post them until now. I didn't want to jinx it. I'm very superstitious. Like, I mean, I'm Asian, we all are, but I'm like, I didn't want to jinx it. So here's my journey. Hey everyone. So I wanted to jump on here really quick and talk about my interview I just had. That's why I look like so professional. I just had my first nursing job interview and it was, oh my god, I was so nervous. Like, oh. And whenever I get nervous, I talk a lot. And then I start cleaning. But obviously I can't start cleaning in the middle of an interview. So talking a lot was basically what happened. The interview was with the Mayo Clinic. It's literally the #1 hospital in the country. Like, I know that this is something I have to work on, but when I answer questions, I am not as concise as I could be. But I think A, it's nerves, right? And B, like, I think I'm just so used to telling a story that with details that aren't necessary, but I don't know, it's just how I am. I could change it, but then I feel like it would be boring and I don't know. So I had an interview with the HR recruiter, and then I had an interview with the unit manager and then one of the nurses on the floor. It's like a panel, and they ask you a lot of behavioral based questions, meaning like, how would you respond in a specific situation? Bless me, my allergies have been killing me. Behavioral questions are like, if you were in a conflict with a coworker, what would you do? How would you address it? Like things like that. And then they asked a critical thinking question. It's like an NCLEX setup question where it's like, okay, you're coming onto the unit and you have 4 patients that you need to see. Who are you going to see first? Rank them, and then tell me why. So I literally answered it like an NCLEX question, and because that's like what we know, right? So I was like, okay, this person I would delegate to a CNA. This person, that's normal. So that's like between 2 people. I was like, ooh, I think I'm gonna go patient X because they had a change of status. And then I would go to patient Y because they're the next critical. Well, that's not how you answer it in an interview. In an interview, they want you to answer it like, okay, you run through every patient and you talk about what you would do, like as far as nursing interventions and why. So like obviously you start with your assessment, but you can't just say assessment because I said assessment. You have to say like, what are you going to specifically assess? Hey everyone, so I'm sitting at my desk. I just got off the phone with Cleveland Clinic. In their interview process, there's like multiple interview steps. So today was like my second interview step with the HR recruiter, and sorry, like I'm still like trying to process what happened. That's why like I like can't find my words. I learned like a really big lesson today, and I'll just tell you like what happened first and then I'll get into that. So I told Cleveland Clinic at the end of my interview that I was not going to continue with their interview process. So I applied to 6 different hospitals, and Cleveland was #2 on my list because they have an amazing heart program, so cardiovascular program. It's actually ranked #1 in the world. And like, it literally broke my, when I say it broke my heart, I started crying when I like told her that I wasn't going to continue on. I just felt like I was closing this door and giving up on like this once in a lifetime opportunity. So the reason why I came to this decision was because, and I highly recommend for all of you guys to do it if you're a new grad or you're like, looking for jobs, even if you're not in nursing, you have to do research. You have to come up with a number that you have to get paid for your annual salary. And when I say you have to come up with a number, it's not about just coming up with a number that you want to get paid. it's coming up with a fair number that you can bring to the table to negotiate. And even not just negotiate, but a number that you know you can't go under. Let's just be honest. Like, the number that we have in our head of how much we want to get paid is probably higher than we actually will ever get paid as a new grad, but also that number is negotiable based off of the experience, the organization, and the opportunities that they're offering you. Even though that number is negotiable, like, you have a no-go zone, and it's really important that you know that. So, for example, the best hospital ever out there in the history of mankind says we pay all of our new grads $20 an hour. But say you've done your research and you've tallied up, you know, okay, how much rent's gonna be, how much living expenses are gonna be, how much car expenses are gonna be, how much your student loan like monthly bills are gonna be. Say it is like super close. Say it's a $2 difference between what they wanna offer you and what you need. Then you can tell them, you know, based off of my research as far as the cost of living in your city, the market rate for rent, and then my student loans, I really need to be closer to this number. And her response to me was the lesson. So after I like started crying, and I apologized to her for being emotional because, you know, normally I am not. I am very calm and nothing really rattles me. But like I said, like, it was just the realization that I was closing this door, and I was literally telling the #2 hospital on my list of dream hospitals to work for that I basically wasn't going to like work for them. She told me, she said, I completely understand where you're coming from, and I don't want you to feel like just because it's a no right now means that it's a no forever. She told me that Cleveland Clinic isn't going anywhere, and that she wanted me to make the best decision for myself as a new grad right now. She wanted to stay in touch with me over the course of the next year as I go through my residency program, obviously now at a different hospital, and that when the time was right and I let her know that I was ready, that we would try to find a position that I could qualify and apply for. And like, when she said that, it made me want to cry even more, you know, because she was being so nice and so supportive. I'm literally like, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. As a new grad, like, and especially like when you're in your last year or last semester of nursing school, we have like this fear that turns into like a mental state of mind that we will never get a nursing job, which sounds ridiculous, but it's a real feeling, and it's a real fear and a real like thought process that all nursing students, I mean, I did, and I know a lot of my classmates that graduate with me have the same fear. It's like this idea that we'll just be lucky if we get a job in any hospital in any position, you know. And today it just really taught me not to let that feeling manifest itself into a real, like I said, mindset. As much as like hospitals are interviewing us, we also need to be interviewing these hospitals to make sure that we pick a hospital and we pick a position that is truly what we want in our hearts. But like I said, as a new grad, we feel like that's not an option to us. So that was the biggest lesson that I learned today. One, that a no right now doesn't mean a no forever, and to like not come from a place of desperation. So now that Cleveland Clinic is out the window, I now have to focus on just the next step and my next interview. So I need to like go eat or something. Like, I just need to like decompress and like get like food in my mouth. So I don't even know like how to say this. I don't know how to start this. I don't know, like, I am like freaking out right now. Like, I have been accepted into the nurse residency program at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. Like, I can't believe I just said that. I think that's the first time I've said that out loud. Like, I want to cry. I want to cry. Like, let me tell you, when I first started this journey and I decided to go back and get my nursing degree, I thought I was just going to finish school, move back home, work for Dr. Chang and Nurse Stacy, and be an injectionist and focus on aesthetic nursing, and then that was going to be my my career and my passion. And never in a million, when I say never in a million years, I literally mean, I'm not just saying that. Like, never in a million years did I think that I would even have the opportunity to forget like getting hired, but I was like, I don't even know if I can get an interview. Who just would ever think that like this little Asian girl from an island in the middle of the Pacific would grow up to work in the #1 hospital in the country? Like, not me. When I found out that I got the position, my next thought was, okay, do I get a Montclair jacket or do I get a Canada Goose jacket? Like, can I get moon boots now? Or maybe like they don't do like moon boots? It's a sickness, I know, but what can I say? It's gonna be an adventure. I'm so excited. Even though it's so far from home, which makes me really sad. And I don't know anyone in Minnesota, so I'm like, what if they don't like me? Which makes me a little scared. I am like so excited for this new adventure, and I'm like so excited that I get to take you guys like on it with me. So we'll see what happens. Give me like 6 months when I'm in the middle of winter in Minnesota, and I'll have to watch back this video and remind myself that I was really happy and I was really excited and that I really wanted this. So the next video I make is gonna be on what I did to my resume and my cover letter to get me interviews with these people, you know, and hopefully like, you know, it just helps you get the interview at your dream hospital. Then maybe one day you could say like, I'm working in my dream hospital. I hope that whoever's watching this, that if you take anything away from me and my story, it's that if there's something in your heart that you want to accomplish, or there's a goal or a dream or just like an itch that you just need to do something, just do it. I'm telling you, like, I am not a typical nursing student, you know, like I might look really young, but I'm not. Like, I am 36 years old and I decided to go back to school when I was 34. And I moved away from home in order to do that. It took a lot of sacrifice. It took a lot of hard work. It took grit. It took, you know, it also took me being surrounded by really amazing, amazing people. Like the friends that I have in my life, especially my friends in Vegas, like my ride or dies, I could not have done it without them. But the biggest thing is you need to believe in yourself. So, you know, don't think that you can't do something. Don't let other people tell you you can't accomplish something. If you want to do something in your life, it doesn't matter how young you are, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Like I don't come from a connected family. You know, I don't know anyone that works at Mayo Clinic. When I swear, I don't have connections in the healthcare industry. I didn't have like a one-up on anyone. I'm just a normal girl. I'm honestly not even the smartest person in my class. Trust me, I'm not. And I'm not just saying that. Like, I'm not the best test taker. But, you know, just look at every challenge as an opportunity for you to find a solution. And if you just look at life in that way, then there are no such thing as boundaries. And there's no such thing as you can't accomplish something, you know? Like, thank you for watching, and just thank you for just being on this journey with me. Okay, now I need to go get some like hot and juicy because they finally opened up their restaurant to like accept reservations, so we can actually go in and sit and have some shrimp and corn and clams, and Sabayan's probably gonna get like mussels because that's what she likes.